sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
And let's do it.
Okay. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
And gals. And undecided.
And non-bear.
Yeah.
Non-binary. Hey. Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I am Heather Terry.
And this is our power hour of true crime, fucked up, crazy shit, where we tell you stories that you didn't know you needed to know.
Why do you feel like a high school dance DJ?
Because I woke up today and I was like, I shall sound like a high school dance DJ.
You guys ready for the cha-cha slide?
Oh, everyone. I'm always ready for the cha-cha slide. If there's one thing I'm consistently ready for,
That?
it's the cha to the slide.
Yeah?
Jeez.
Wow. Okay.
Yep,
Good to know. And we'll whip that one out at parties.
Can't wait. Can't wait. It'll feel like I'm in fucking middle school all over again.
Yeah.
Where we did the little like twirl around ski and just felt real cool. Gosh.
What was it?
We do the little twirl. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I'm divorcing you right now.
Oh, when you're doing the cha-cha slide? When
No,
you get
just
fancy?
The thing that has nothing to do with the cha-cha slide. Just when you twirl. When you do what Theodore does whenever he's about to lay down. Just walk in a little
Twirl
circle.
like a cat? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something I've been wanting to talk to you about.
Oh, I love when you spring the shit on me.
Yes. Okay. It is. Do you remember when we were seeing the vaginas on all of the Instagram?
With the two fingers?
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
The two fingers covering
Yes.
the pearl,
What?
if you will. So
The pearl.
I have been disgruntled by that for a while, and I'm happy that it's over. But there's a new thing out, and I wanted to get your input. The new thing is
Oh, God.
men showing their pubic hair.
What?
Jizz.
Is that why the list just said pubies?
Yes.
Okay.
And it said pubes.
Well, I wrote pubies.
Why did you change it?
No, you told me to write it.
I wrote it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have pubes and pubies on the list.
Okay. Well, lousy
Anyway.
with them.
That is, and yes, some people are.
What?
Okay, here's
Why?
the deal, Pickle.
Okay.
So Sean T from T25 and from Insanity and all that stuff. Love him, right?
Yes.
He was hiding his sexuality for a super long time. I remember when he was trying not to be like, but I remember loving him whenever he first came out, like in general, as obviously he was a backup dancer before and then he became a fitness guru.
Hot.
And I loved him forever. And then at one time I remember him doing something. I go, I think he's gay.
Yeah?
Had no idea. And I was like, I think he's gay. Didn't know that his husband was one of the guys in all his videos working out with him too.
Oh.
Which is so cute. Anyway, so then I followed him on his journey in the last probably 15 years, I'd say. 15 years of him doing whatever masculine shit he had to do. And then now he just dances in thongs and has his penis out.
Oh.
And it is super, like, Sean T has gone from like, I'm a man's man to like, put it in my butthole on his, and I love
Good
him
for
it.
him.
And he even said it. I had seen one of his posts where he was like, and he showed some of the messages of people being like, if I would have known you were gay, I would have never bought any of your DVDs.
Wow.
Yeah, like dumb shit. Like people just being
The worst.
asswads, yeah. And he goes, you got to love how you get that kind of feedback. I started my TikTok and just got 2 million followers. Or so. He was basically like, you lose 150,000 on your Instagram and gain 2 million on your TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'll follow him if I want to follow him. I'll look at the video if I want to look at it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But what he has now been doing is like, because he just did some bodybuilding competitions, he is wearing the banana hammocks, right? And it's for bodybuilding. And also because he's gay and he wants to. And they'd apparently just walk around like that. And I love it. And all power to you. But the pubes.
They're just out?
The poobs.
Huh.
Yep, they're there. They're there. They're there. And why does that make me feel like I'm seeing your penis?
I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, to each their own. You do what you want to do. I'm a firm believer in do what you want to do.
Yes.
But
I don't want to see them.
if I got to pick, like if there was a box A and a box B and it was like, would you prefer to see hair in the pubic region? I would check no. That like on
That's
that
a
quiz,
beautiful
that
way.
would be my answer.
Yes.
So if you want to show that, you go ahead. That is not a subscription that I will be subscribing to.
I was just bamboozled, if you will. I was watching the vids and I was like, all right, man, dude, that 12-pack be looking firm. And I'm like, oh.
And you're like, and what daddy is. Speaking of that, believe it or not, I have a segue to that because I was going to bring this up too.
I can't wait.
So I was looking at a page on Facebook that I liked for an acquaintance, and she posted, you know, the two fingers, the two finger where in front of the hoo-ha. Where
the two-finger salute?
Yes. That doesn't sound like a dirty movie. But that you said
You just ruined it.
I mean,
the two-finger salute is like the two-finger salute. It's literally a salute.
The
two fingers.
No, I know what you mean.
No, you didn't. You're calling it the two-finger salute. You're nasty. Keep going.
Listen, I call them like I see them.
Okay.
So she posted, and it was, you know how there's the blue wax sometimes and the colored wax behind the fingers in the photos.
Of waxing vaginas.
Yes.
For everyone else that doesn't know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes. So she posted a photo of the wax off of it, holding it like a little baby bird with her palm up to Jesus with the hair still in it. And you could see the vagine crevice in said wax. And that was a post. And then somebody commented and said, "Is that mine? LOL." What are you going to say? I mean... Is that mine?
I'm having a hard time right now.
What?
Ew.
Right?
Ew. Whose page?
Like, no, I will show you after our audio
wait.
project. Yes. It was in, you know, not body shaming, not this, but like, even if it was your Pikachu, don't comment and say, "Is that a wax mold with my hair in it of my Pikachu?" And that's what that person did.
Why are people gross? It's like they don't have any modesty anymore.
I mean,
like what my dad always says, leave something to the imagination.
That was not imagination
I
station.
am just...
I know. It was... I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, man.
What are you doing?
I'm ready to see it.
Okay, there's that.
Okay, I'm coming in.
Okay.
I'm coming
there's
in hard
the
and fast.
first part.
Oh, my God.
And
no.
Okay, here's the actual post.
Oh, my God. Is your phone down? I swear to God, my stomach's aching. My stomach is aching.
I saw that and I was like, at first
my
I
stomach
glanced
is aching.
and was
I'm
like,
going to throw up.
You're going to puke?
Oh, my God.
I'll let you read the comments later.
Nope. I don't want anything to do with that ever again. I need to report abuse of a site. That is so disappointing. This is not okay. Okay. PSA. It is not okay to show vaginas and then 8-inch hair ripped out of it.
I mean, that one is deep. I glanced at it.
That
I
was
swear
a fucking fur ball.
This was, That
was a never once.
It looked like a Swiffer.
Oh my God, with like 8 cats in the house.
Oh my
I'm
God.
done. Okay, we're out. We need to stop.
Hey, you opened that door. I just kicked it down and said, "Look at this."
You did, and you did. Oh man, I'm not the same person that I once. I was not expecting that.
No.
And I've
It's
seen
different when I describe
bushy
it.
things on my stupid Instagram, bush balm ads.
But okay, so it's different when I describe it and you actually see the photo.
It's disappointing in every way.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It is.
I wonder how people decide to like become an esthetician. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna wax some badges.
No.
I'm gonna rip some hair out of some pubic regions.
And then post it so people can claim it in the comment section.
Okay, I can't. Anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Will you talk about your story before I cry?
Well, it's not going to help lift you up. This one, I know this is a motivational podcast where people come to cleanse their chakras and their auras, all that stuff.
Yeah. So you're not cleansing my chakra today?
No.
Wish you would. It'd be real cool if you did.
It'd be a lot cooler if I did.
Just.
This is the story of Susan Wright and the murder of Jeff Wright. Are you ready?
Indeed.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, good. The sources were Deadly Women, Season 5, Episode 14, with our new best friend, Candace DeLong, because we had dinner with her without having dinner with her because she ate at the table behind us.
She's also very tiny.
She is just
Just
a
so
little...
you guys know, she has the voice and the eyebrows and the piercing eyes of a 6'2" lady, and she is 5'2" probably,
Yeah.
if not 4'9".
She's just a little one. She's a wee woman.
Yes.
Yes. Wikipedia, ABC 13, Houston, and the 10-Minute Murder podcast. There's also a Snapped episode, but for some reason I was going to have to pay for that. And I don't know.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Because they only had seasons 8 through 92 or whatever. And of course, it was on one of the 1 through 7s that I needed.
Motherfucker.
Now, this is going to leave you with some questions, and then it's going to make you a little bit pissed off. So
Usually,
my
these
stories
never upset me.
My stories do
I
kind of.
never get pissed off.
They kind of do piss you off a little bit. Susan Lucille Wright was born April 24th, 1976 in Houston, Texas. And I couldn't find a ton on her childhood because 2 months of that seemed to overshadow everything else. Her classmates described her as a normal teen. She was fun, outgoing. She was a cheerleader. And she didn't seem to be like the wrong side of the tracks kind of girl. Then somehow, and no one knows how, at age 17, Susan ended up working as a topless dancer at a classy joint called the Gold Cup for 2 months.
Okay.
You never know how it
You
happened.
don't know.
Yeah. And as I always say, put a pin in that, and I'll bring it up in a little bit. So in 1997, she was a server at a restaurant in Galveston, Texas, and met a fella named Jeff Wright, who was 8 years older than her. She told everyone that Jeff was like the man of her dreams, and she fell hard and fast, all that stuff.
I sure do.
He showered her with gifts, and they seemed picture perfect on the outside, like they all do in all of our stories almost. They ended up having a shotgun wedding in 1998 when Susan was 8.5 months pregnant.
That's not a very shotgun wedding then, is it?
I mean...
To me, a shotgun wedding is one of those that you have to do before everyone can tell that you're pregnant.
This was like, I don't think I would want to do anything at 8.5 months pregnant. Tie my shoes. Like I would
not be doing that.
No.
That's what Velcro's for.
Right, Velcro. I would pay money to see you in Velcro shoes.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of money, just so you know.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down to clown.
Right. And she ended up having their son named Bradley, so not exactly her dream wedding, let's just say that. Their son was born, and then in 2002, she had their second child and a little girl named Kaylee. And despite what it appeared to be, Susan figured out early on that it probably wasn't going to be wine and roses with Jeffrey. Mm-hmm. Jeff had a super dark side and apparently an issue with the cocaines.
Do you think that they would say that we had a super dark side because of our podcast? Because that's what my dad keeps telling me. It's like, you got some dark side in you, don't you, girl? I'm like, Dad.
I don't know.
I'm like, every other girl, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
Don't understand what it's like to be a girl.
But he told Susan, even though he had the issue with the cocaines, he told Susan, no, I have it under control, but it didn't take long for her to figure out that he was fucking lying. So he was still doing the coke. He would go off and have benders, frequent strip clubs, and it was like have threesomes.
See, cocaine isn't like a chill drug. It's not like heroin where you do it privately in a broken down shack on a dirty mattress with blood stains and feces. But
whoa,
I'm just going off of some books I've read. But coke is a party drug. It's like I need some house music, some sweaty bodies.
Yeah.
And some mouths.
He would go to the strip clubs and have the threesomes and yeah.
Oh my God. What a dirty
just go on benders. He also started mentally, sexually, and physically abusing her. But her home was like a battlefield and she felt like a prisoner. Susan said that Jeff was constantly like on her dick about the house being perfect. He's like, you just sit at home and take care of the kids. That's your job. And dinner needs to be ready when I walk in. Kind of, I'm the king.
It's in the 2000s, early 2000s? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kind of like, obey thy husband, I'm the king, and you don't get a voice or a say. Just take care of the kids like you're supposed to. That's the mentality that he had. Even though she was at home raising their kids, which I wouldn't want to fucking do that job. No. Me personally.
I would love it.
Me personally, no.
I would love to be a stay-at-home fucking anything.
I would stay-at-home dog mom I could do. No, that's it.
You could not be a I don't think you could just be at home. Like you need human interaction in a way.
That's true. Maybe I could just do it part-time.
Okay. Okay. But it's not a stay-at-home.
But he would say shit to her like, you're just sitting at home on your fat ass watching soap operas all day while I'm out there working my ass off. Like,
Was she?
that kind of, no.
I'm just super curious. 'cause
No.
Those are great shows.
And that, I mean, it sounds like a good life, but no.
know.
Yeah. She didn't take that. Susan didn't take that, though. And when she actually tried to stand up for herself, she definitely paid the price. So he would come home wasted all the time. And he definitely did not, obviously, like being called out on his bullshit whenever she tried to stand up for herself. So first, verbal abuse, then it escalated. But there's one problem with all of this. There's
one?
Well, I mean, a big one. There's no record of this.
I was going to say he had a small penis.
No.
That'd be the bigger issue.
Sounds like it. He's all mad. So there's no record of it. She never reported him to the cops. No one really knows why she didn't. There's no hospital records, nothing.
So the moment that a man does anything and you don't leave, ladies, tell your friend, tell your mother, and write it in a journal.
Send a photo.
Take photos.
Take a picture.
Do all of it.
You're like, look at my broken nose. Someone look at this.
Go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Do the little hand thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Susan said that she was scared to leave him because she didn't want him to take the kids away because he would say that. She also said that she was a Christian woman who did not believe in divorce. So I'm just going to leave that on the table as it be.
I will not have a comment.
Yes.
I plead the fifth.
You can hear our thoughts through our voice and our tone, but we're just going to keep going.
I plead the fifth.
That's right. Jeff didn't want to separate her, but I mean, why would he? He controlled everything. He had all the money.
Other people.
Right? She did everything that she tried to keep the peace because she didn't want to get her ass beat. So she started just complying to everything that he said and did. Mm-hmm. But deep down, she was obviously hurting. So cut to
question.
Yes.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Never mind. I'll wait. Nope. I'm putting it on the shelf. We'll come get it later.
Okay. We'll get it at the Walmart pickup here in a little bit. Cut to January 13th, 2003. Jeff came home fucked up, and Susan's like, okay, listen, we're going to play a sexy little game in the bedroom. So take off your clothes and go lay in the bed. And then she comes in there, and he's like, what? Okay. So she ties him up. She grabs a candle from the nightstand.
Okay.
She pours that.
The wax?
On his dick. Directly on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But then he didn't like that. He didn't want any part of that. Some people do that. We don't kink shame. He didn't want that on his dick at all. Like it hurt him.
Because he's a pussy. It's only hot for a second. What? We light candles all the time. And I specifically have that, like those long tapered ones.
Yeah.
So I've gotten wax on me before.
Yeah.
Not over here fucking doing weird. Well, that's not weird. I'm not, but
yeah.
I like my sheets and I'm not trying to get wax on them.
This was not a game he wanted to play.
I am understanding that, man.
Okay, cool. Then Susan grabs a knife, stabs him in the eyeball. So naked, tied to the bed.
Oh my.
Fucked up Jeff and stabs him because she like jumps on top of him and he thinks, yay, let's go. And she's like, just kidding. We're going to make a wax mold of your dick and then I'm going to stab you in the eyeball. Okay.
Okay, this girl, my apologies, is a fucking idiot. Yeah. She's a fucking idiot.
Okay, just wait.
This 1000% is the dumbest way to go about anything whatsoever. So
Candy DeLong said on the show that our face is our personality and our essence, and she was basically trying to destroy that for him. That was her commentary. Keep in mind, they weren't alone in the house, and her 2 kids were still there. And they're like, the older one is old enough to know that's going to be loud. During all of this,
did he not die? As soon as she stabbed him in the eye? That goes to your brain. Hang on. No, wait, hold on. You're saying a knife doesn't go to your brain?
No, I mean, it did not kill him immediately. Okay. He was screaming.
Got it.
So I'm sure there was brain on the knife.
Got it. You're like, no. And I'm like, was it a toothpick knife?
No.
I'm like, it would have gone to the brain.
Right, yes. That is accurate, but he did not pass away immediately from a knife entering the eyeball. So obviously this was loud, and their 5-year-old son, Bradley, knocked on the bedroom door. So she cleaned up as much blood as she could from her body, threw the robe on, and assured him, hey, we're just playing a game, it's fine, and put him back to bed. She made a pit stop at the kitchen, grabbed another knife, and then went back. Like, how many times do you think that she stabbed him? Because she didn't just stop once in the eyeball.
47.
197.
Wow.
fucking times.
Overkill.
And 50 were in the face and neck. Like 8 of them were in the penis. They weren't sure because they said she could have stabbed him in the same spot more than once.
I'm sure.
But Candace DeLong said it was one of the most violent murders she's ever seen from a woman to her husband in her whole career. One of the investigators said that not one of the stab wounds were single-handedly fatal. So when you asked about the eyeball, like not one of them killed him. That it was like a combination of the 197. And now there's some people say 193, 194. 197 was the main one that I saw.
I'm going to stop listening to our podcast because you don't know the exact numbers.
I know. Facts. Math and facts. That's what we are always saying we're here for. And so his death was excruciating and slow. With the additional...
What kind of knife? A baby knife? A steak knife? A butter knife? I need to understand the knife.
From the kitchen. I didn't get the actual...
That's where I'm like, if you stab, depending on the size of the blade, you stab someone in the face. I understand being able to survive a certain portion of it, but like the neck, your jugular, there's so many like your arteries. I don't know. I'm so amazed that it wasn't one fatal blow that had him bleed out, but like the accumulation of them. Wild.
Yeah, she went bananas. Even part of one of the knives, the tip got stuck in his skull, like when she was going, like it broke off. Yeah, they said that with the additional stab wounds to the genitals, it tends to point towards abuse and rage for her to get revenge. When he finally died, after a little bit of pain, she dug a hole. She finished digging a hole that they already had in their backyard. She put him on a dolly, wheeled him out there, and then buried it. And that's where her kids played every single day. They'd already had a partial hole there because they were going to put a water feature in. And she put him where that was. And then just dug it a little deeper, threw him in there. After that, she, like immediately after she went outside, she started making frantic phone calls to basically everybody she knows. So she called his family saying that he'd gotten violent with her and was wasted and he left the house. And then
one smart move.
Yeah. Then she went to the cops, and the cops thought it was all domestic violence and that he'd attacked the kids too. So she, knowing that her husband was dead in her backyard, filed a police report and showed them her wounds, saying that she got it from their fight. The first time she's ever went to the cops.
So what wounds did she have? Because she had tied him up whenever she attacked him.
Yeah. I mean, probably cuts and stuff from herself, I would imagine. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of questions that are left unanswered on this one too. And there's a lot of different stories too, but majority of this you have to think about is from her point of view. I left a lot of it out because a lot of it sounds a little far-fetched, but there's a lot more like you could dig deeper into it. It definitely
sounds like it's from her point of view.
Mm-hmm, it is.
It sounds like bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, people knew, and they kind of, like outside looking in, they looked like they were a great family. They would have people over their house and stuff, but like some people close to him knew he was kind of a banshee. They didn't know that. But, okay. So she filed that police report, showed him the wounds and her bruises or whatever, and then she attempted to get a restraining order, like I said, knowing he's buried in their backyard. Her friends and family were all shocked, and no one could attest to her secret. She didn't tell anybody any of this stuff. It was even said that the cleanup for that, because you can imagine, it was so bad, she sent her kids to her sisters and she had to repaint the bedroom. People started obviously becoming suspicious. He wasn't showing up to work. He wasn't one to do that. And his family...
He would have gotten in a fight with her and left.
Yeah, and his family was real close to him, and he talked to them all the time, and he wasn't talking to them. But Susan couldn't take it anymore. She had been talking to her mom a ton, and her story wasn't adding up. Her own mom started working with the police. So her mom then she finally cracked and told her mom everything, and the cops came and found Jeff's body out back. Susan told the cops a story about self-defense for both her and her children.
Right.
So she went
tying someone up and attacking them. Is definitely self-defense. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said what she did was so stupid. It's like no part of it. You could what if she really cared to like do the self-defense, cause a fight and kill him. Yeah. Have him hit her. I mean, have the kids see it. Have witnesses.
Yeah. I don't like, that's the thing, like with this one, it's hard. We're not victim blaming because I hate that if she is getting abused.
We don't know if she's a victim at all. She's a murderer.
Nobody knows that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We're not victim blaming because she's not the victim. Yeah. He is.
Nobody knows the truth. But so she went to trial, and in February of 2004, she pled not guilty because of the self-defense. Prosecutors claimed that she seduced him and killed him for his $200,000 life insurance policy. They definitely beat that dead horse, though, about her dancing topless for 2 months back in the day. And I'm like, think about how much dumb shit we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like, not that, but, still.
How old was she, though?
17.
No, like how old is
now?
she? Yeah.
Like in her late 20s, I think. So it's been like over 10 years. Susan testified in her own defense, and she said that she kept stabbing him because she was afraid he would get back up and kill her.
Even though he was tied up.
And she didn't want to die.
Oh, my God. I do not care for her.
Her mom, who helped the cops get her in the first place, said that she came back and was like, well, I witnessed the bruises and knew she was being abused. But that was the only person who said that the whole time.
And she was also the one who got her daughter arrested.
That.
So it's like...
Pick a lane.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
That is a tough
he
one.
abused her, but she killed him.
And
she never once was like, I think that he's going to kill me. And you don't know. Maybe he did blow and he'd come home and he'd grab her arm hard.
Yeah.
Not beat her within an inch of her life and come into, like, she never had broken arms, like, because she didn't have any police. There were no hospital records.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not, I'm by no means, let me just make sure I'm very clear on that. By no means am I saying certain abuse stands out and justifies murder than other abuse. Abuse is abuse. Mm-hmm. But there's no evidence of hers besides what
there's
her
no
mom maybe
official,
said.
no cry or call to like a crisis line or any, like, nothing. Prosecutors said that she was crying crocodile tears, and they even brought their bed that she stabbed him on into the courtroom and did a demonstration in the courtroom, and that worked. Like, they had a guy lay on the bed and everything and, like, demonstrate on the actual bed. On March 3rd, 2004, the jury found her guilty of murder, and they said that Susan barely reacted, and she got 25 years. Now, she appealed in 2008 when an ex named Misty McMichael came forward, and she was like, hey, he did that shit to me too. And we were together for 4 years.
I'm surprised that wasn't like the defense's team is to get, they should have been getting.
You're so smart, because in 2009, she was granted a new trial because her counsel rendered ineffective assistance during the punishment phase.
Oh, okay.
So look how smart you are. You're so smart.
Oh my God.
You're so smart. Her sentence was reduced to 20 years with parole eligibility in the new trial. She got denied a few times, but on July 2nd, 2020, she was finally granted release. In December of 2020, when Susan was 44, she had been in prison for 16 years. They let her out. Now, not much is known about her whereabouts, but there's still rumors that she still lives in the Houston area. And her children were adopted by one of Jeff Wright's family members, and they're said to be doing well. And that's the wild story of the murder of Jeff Wright at the hands of his allegedly abused wife, Susan Wright.
Yep, that one pissed me off.
Yeah.
You successfully bothered me. That was troublesome.
That is the whole goal.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't particularly believe. Here's my thing. Okay. I understand if maybe we lived in like one of those fancy ass towns where it's like, I don't want anyone to know that my millionaire husband likes to slap me when he has too much scotch. And I put on a lot of makeup. Like, it's different to me in the world of her shit. Cause it's like, it's one thing that, let's say my Boo Bear, my love pumpkin man, decided to start hitting me. Maybe he could do it once and I wouldn't tell you because then you'd go psycho.
Yeah.
The second time, I'm pretty sure I'd be like, something happened. Or I'd tell my mom.
Yeah.
Like I would tell you and I would tell my mom.
Yeah.
I'd tell my mom first and then I'd consider telling you. You're more of a spitfire. But someone would be told.
Do you need to talk to me?
And a photo would be taken.
Do you need to talk to me?
No.
If
someone was going to hit somebody, it'd probably be me because I'm more abusive than Travis is. But the other thing is, like, if Travis was having a cocaine issue, going to topless bars and fucking
strippers.
2 women at the same time, I'm pretty sure his friend would know. There'd be some evidence.
Yeah.
Who is he at this strip club with?
Well, people knew that he was doing that. That part was.
But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I also feel like, too, he'd maybe at one point be like, man, after fucking that party with Sasha and Electra, Man, I cleaned off my dick, went home, and I beat the fuck out of my wife.
There's also rumors that I couldn't find a lot on, but on Morbid, I was listening to Morbid today, and I didn't update my notes because I'm lazy, but they said that he gave her herpes. That somebody said he gave her herpes whenever he was doing all this, and she got pissed off and was like, you just ruined my life. I have herpes forever. So that's another avenue.
That's quite the avenue.
There's a lot of
It's quite the avenue.
what happened in this one.
Well, questiones.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
All right, let's pivot because
What you got for me?
I am all Halloween because
Well, mine was leftover.
hers was the mashed potatoes that have been in the fridge from last week. Mine is brand new food. Okay. So I am going to be all Halloween themed now until Halloween.
I'll get on board next time.
Yes. So I have the New York Times, the Smithsonian Magazine, Wikipedia, and then all that's interesting.
All right.
So let's dive in
Okay.
to Halloween conundrums.
Okay.
Shall we? So, playing pranks often varies by region, but the pre-Halloween tradition known as Devil's Night
Oh.
is ooh.
I've heard of this.
I know. It's credited to a different origin depending on the source. So some say that pranks started as a part of May Day celebrations. I don't know what the fuck that is. But Samhain and eventually All Souls Day also included good-natured mischief. So when Irish and Scottish immigrants came to America, they brought with them the tradition of celebrating Mischief Night as part of Halloween. Samhain is technically November 1st, but because it's sundown to sunrise, it's really celebrated on Halloween night. So it's that informal holiday essentially in which children, teenagers, adults, they engage in, jokes, pranks, vandalism, parties, whatever. Just for fun facts on what it's been known as, it's Devil's Night, Gate Night, Goosey Night.
What? Wait.
Moving Night, Cabbage Night, Mystery Night, and Mat Night. I cannot tell you the whys I can't tell you.
Goosey.
Yeah.
Goosey night. If we don't have a night and call it Goosey night, I'm not going.
Okay, well, don't go. Halloween in early 19th century America was a night for pranks, tricks, illusions, and anarchy. Jack-o'-lanterns would dangle from the edge of the sticks, and teens really would do like wholesome shit, jump out behind walls and kind of scare little kids. It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Over time, though, it progressed into other fucking bullshit. So as America modernized and essentially we became more urbanized, it turned into mayhem and eventually created a movement to stop what they called was like the Halloween problem and to make a holiday safer for younger kids. If it weren't for the tricks of the past, though, there wouldn't be any treats today.
Look at
So
you.
Halloween was born nearly 2,000 years ago in the Celtic countries of northwestern Europe. November 1st was the right time for it, the date that essentially cut the agriculture year in two. God, could I have made it? As I mentioned, Samhain, it's summer's end and the beginning of the most dangerous season, which is darkness and cold. And according to folklore, it created a rift in reality that set spirits free, both good and bad. Those spirits were to blame for the creepy things. People lost in fairy mounds, dangerous creatures that would emerge from the mist. All of that would happen at that time of year. So keeping in mind, though, like winter for us is snowball fights, hot cocoa, Baileys, Snugs, big blankets. But back then, it essentially kind of meant death. The winters were brutal. There wasn't heat. Essentially, your candles and your fireplaces were the only heat that your homes had, and your homes could barely even keep the chill out because we didn't have all the shit shoved into the fucking walls that we have now.
Yeah.
And you had to worry about starving to death. So legit, obviously, we're so lucky to be alive now. I say that all the time because my favorite time period to read things is from the 1600s to the 1800s. And I've mentioned that many, many times. And that shit be dirty and cold. Anyway, so I'm done with my history lesson.
Okay.
We'll talk about my story.
All right.
So the year is 1998. We are in the Bronx, and we have the delightful Mr. Karl Jackson and his girlfriend, Darlene. They're picking up her 9-year-old son, Clyde, from a children's party. So Karl had just turned 21 a few weeks earlier. When I saw that he was 21, I had 800 questions because his girlfriend's son is 9, and I'm not here to judge, but I'm wondering if she had her kid at 12.
Right?
Yeah.
That math
no one
ain't-
talks about it, but my math be mathing.
That is
into
not mathing.
some suspect kind of ages there.
Yeah.
Or she's older, but either way,
Something's up.
Something's up in Pirates Cove. But that has nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
So he's a super quiet guy. He's the son of a nurse and a postal worker, and he himself is a data entry clerk at Morgan Stanley, which is essentially more like a programmer, not like 2 + 2 = 4 type of deal. He never cared to go out on Halloween, which makes me super fucking sad because he honestly thought it was too dangerous.
Oh.
And I'm going to assume it's probably the Bronx type of vibe. Like, apparently New York and Halloween, and we'll go into it, like, is no joke. No fucking joke. They were going to pick up Clyde, and then they were going to take him home where they had a babysitter, and then they were going to go out to a party themselves. So there's some fucking teenagers. Fuck them already.
Oh, no.
They end up egging his car. Karl, he steps out of the vehicle, and there's like an argument. Now, how aggressive, I can't tell you, but because he's known for being a quiet guy and not really wanting to cause a ruckus, I don't even know if the kid was in the car then, though I believe the kid is in the car or they were going to pick up the kid. I don't feel like he was trying to fist fight anyone over his car being egged. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Now I read one thing where it says that he gets back into his vehicle and this thing happens. And then I also read from like the police report that he got into the vehicle, into the passenger side, and they drove off. Well, one of the kids jumped into a separate vehicle, pulled up, and shot him in the head.
What? Whoa.
Yeah. Shot him right in the temple.
Went from eggs to that.
Yeah. His mom, Gloria Jackson, she said, I think it took us 2 years to even talk about it. We were just devastated. We never thought that anyone from our family would be murdered, especially on a holiday for something stupid. So let's talk about Halloween eggings. They've apparently been a violent event in New York City forever. Peep this shit.
Okay.
Since 1984. Now, I believe based on, I didn't check the date of this article, so my bad, but once I started doing more math, because I don't know why I decided to bust the calculator out on this.
You do like getting out your calculator.
I do. I think this was probably written around 2006.
Okay.
The last stat of a year that I'm going to give is like 2005, which makes me think it's like 2005, 2006. With that being said, all of these numbers, so imagine from 98 to 2005. Okay. Not long.
Okay.
7 years maybe. Since 1984, at least 24 people have been seriously wounded or killed in stabbings, shootings, beatings, or accidents that are all sparked by egg-throwing confrontations around Halloween.
What the fuck?
Right. All 24 cases played out in roughly the same way. A group of boys, and it literally listed boys, not girls, because girls aren't assholes. Boys are. No, I'm just kidding.
We would just TP.
Yeah.
I ain't throwing eggs.
Right. The boys hurled eggs at pedestrians, cars, or houses. The targets would confront the throwers, and violence fucking ensued basically from there.
What? So they're just out provoking people with eggs.
We'll keep going. So
God.
Most of the victims were teenagers or young men. Men. The New York Police Department said that they didn't compile statistics on eggings. The tally of the 24 victims comes from a review of articles in the New York Times, the Daily News, the New York Post, and Newsday that talked about Halloween egg throwing episodes.
That's so wild.
Yeah. Caught up in the thrill and anonymity of wearing costumes and masks, teenagers have long kind of used Halloween as an excuse to be fucking cuntwads, pretty much.
Yeah.
The eggings have occasionally led to attacks in other parts of the country, but only in New York City has the practice left 24 people dead or wounded.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So some of them, like Mr. Jackson, sadly, the ones who had the balls to confront the egg throwers, have been murdered. Some people have been hit with eggs. They end up chasing the people down and then killing them.
Killing the people who threw the egg at them.
Yes.
Damn it.
And then some who have thrown the eggs have died trying to get away.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. What the fuck?
That ain't worth it. We used to throw rolls of toilet paper in trees, giggle, run away. Then they would find out, or like in my case, I would drop my cell phone in the yard, and then they would have to call my parents.
At what year did you have a cell phone that you could drop in the yard?
I was a senior or junior
You're
in high
older
school.
than me, and I was like, I did not have.
I had a brick cell phone, a big Motorola, and they called, and it said home, and they called home, and my dad answered, and they were like, your daughter dropped this when she was TPing our house. So I got caught.
Very dad.
Anywho, that was playful fun. I just had to go clean it up super early and apologize.
Well, there's an idea, okay, that even though it's a seemingly harmless prank, that the idea of having an egg tossed at you is kind of an ultimate insult.
Like people say egg on your face?
I don't know.
Like when you're embarrassed, that's what they're like, oh, you have egg on your face?
That's what I wanted to ask. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, they're saying it's a huge insult. To me, and I automatically put egging right next to TPing. Or, like, to me, it was always funny if somebody... my house was only TP'd once for me, but I've TP'd a ton of houses. And the egg thing, as long as it's... Like, that's what sucks. If it's my car, like, it can fuck up your car.
Doesn't it eat paint off your car?
Especially if it sits on your car.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
If somebody threw an egg at me, as long as what am I going to my wedding? Like, who cares? Like, right after.
I don't know. If you're Halloween and you're going out and you got egged, I don't know. We're also not like in that violent reactionary kind of thing.
That's true.
But for police officers in the 104th precinct in Queens, it's like serious fucking business. There's actual posters from stores like saying that they will not sell eggs or shaving cream to minors during Halloween week, and that you can't and that they literally like distribute no egg posters.
What?
And they
like
did a
now?
whole campaign in Juniper Park Civic Association did it. The photos that I saw were next to eggs, and it was 2014, and they had the dates. It was the week of Halloween, and they're like, we will not sell eggs to minors.
Whoa.
Because it was that bad. Isn't that crazy?
Nutso.
I know.
Yeah.
2 days before Halloween in 1994, a man was leaving a bar in Brooklyn and was hit with eggs tossed by several boys. The man turned around and then killed one of the boys, who was only 12 years old, by stabbing him to death.
Whoa. What the fuck?
In 1996, 2 years later, a 10-year-old boy from Brooklyn was shot in the neck by a stray bullet after an egg fight on Halloween.
This is a lot.
On October 29th in 2005, a 31-year-old man named Joseph Padro, he was also the brother of a police detective, was shot and killed in the Bronx after he chased a group of teenagers who pelted his minivan with eggs. One of those that he chased, the guy's name's Jeffrey Ivey, he was only 15. He never admitted that he threw the egg that hit the minivan, but witnesses said that he had. And he pled not guilty to second-degree murder, and he got 5 years to life in prison.
What? Okay.
At the age of 15.
I have to keep remembering that you're talking about people throwing
Eggs.
Like a breakfast food. And then
one can argue the breakfast food.
Well, I like bacon. But
yeah, but
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what are you telling me? What did you just mind fuck me?
I don't know, and I told you this was going to be one of those short stories because...
But now I'm going to be sitting here, and every time I eat eggs, I'm like, well, don't throw it at me. Like, that poor guy and those poor people.
We're going to go now back to Karl Jackson, where the story was all about. Mm-hmm. So every Halloween, on the anniversary of Karl Jackson's death, his family gathers at Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. They write messages to him on painted stones. They leave at his grave. His sister, Carlin Jackson, she was pregnant at the time of the shooting. The nephew he never knew is now 25. Because if you can imagine... This 1998 was 25 years ago.
That's insane.
Isn't that insane? Because that does not feel like it was 25 years ago.
No.
His grandmother, Sally Bagley, she still keeps a pair of his shoes at the top of her stairway.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's sweet. That sounds dangerous.
At the top?
Yeah. At the top of the stairwell?
What do you think people are doing out there?
I'm a klutz. my thought was, I'd trip and fall down the stairs.
I'm glad that you have a one-story house.
Yeah, me too.
The teenager who was prosecuted for killing Mr. Jackson, his name's Curtis Sterling. He was 17 when he was arrested.
Wow.
And he was arrested after trying to sell the gun they believed was the murder weapon to an undercover officer, that the officers had actually set the entire thing up after they got an anonymous tip.
Wow. I'm glad somebody talked.
Yeah, me too. He served 20 years. He's roughly 42 now. I couldn't find anything about him. But I assumed since this was 1998 and that was 25 years ago that he's out now. But I couldn't find him.
Ugh.
While he was in jail, though, every single October, he would receive a Halloween card in the mail from his mother, from Carl's mom, Gloria. And it would always say, "I'm glad you're still there."
Boom, Carl's mom.
Yeah, mic drop to sweet little baby angel.
Oh, man. Good for her.
I mean, very least she can get is the last laugh. And that's not even the last laugh, but be like, go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit.
Wow.
That is my story, technically about Karl Jackson, but also the murders that occur from egging
From fucking
people
eggs.
in New York.
Eggs are violent. Damn.
I know.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I'm just going to. What do people do with shaving cream? I forgot. Put them on the windows?
I guess, yeah.
I think that's what it was. Because I never did that. My dad was like, that eats off paint too. But my dad's also the king of everything was going to tear it up. Like, we weren't allowed to rewind a VCR, like video, VHS tapes in the VCR because he said it would tear it up.
I think that you and I both grew up probably with the same financial backing. And I think if you didn't have a lot of money, everything was going to tear everything
I mean, you're right. You're so right.
Also, our parents were our parents were of the Great Depression. So that too.
You are also accurate on that. Well,
We have more Halloween fun.
now I'm going to get on the Halloween train. The face was better than the
I don't know
vocals.
how everything underneath my eyeballs was moving. Nothing
Yeah,
else.
from the eyelids down, you looked terrifying.
I bet I did. I'm pretty excited about some Halloween stories to tell you guys. I really want to talk about the jack-o'-lanterns and where those came from because there's a whole story behind that.
Step my Halloween story game up.
As you should, because we talked about the witches' brooms before, so you're gonna have to hop onto some random thing.
I got it.
the pranks and the jack-o'-lanterns. We're gonna have to think about
I
another.
got a story.
Well, not the story, but like an item.
Like a fun fact.
Yes,
Fun fact Friday.
indeed.
Okay.
Let's do it. Anyway, you guys, we love you and we think you're really special.
Yes, we do. Thanks for letting us podcast at you.
Indeed, Aruski. Like, listen, rate, subscribe, do all of the things. Tell your friends all about us because we want to know them too.
Yes.
Okay, well, we love you guys. Thanks
Yes.
for everything.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Theodore, can I bet that